In France, Louis XIII and Cardinal Richelieu resided, Louis XIII being the monarch and Richelieu being his minister. Now, although Louis XIII was more of a weak leader, he decided that he would hire Richelieu to help him cover that up. And so Richelieu actually was the one who showed more absolute ruler traits, I guess. And he showed that first when it came to Protestants. Richelieu had first believed that Protestants were against the Catholic king. And so, to punish them for that, he decided they couldn't have any walls. Because if they had walls, they could defy the king and then just run and hide behind them. So he got rid of it. And that wasn't all he did, because when it came to the nobles, he decided they needed to take their power down a little. So he told them to take down their fortified castles. He then helped he increased the power of government agents who came from the middle class, pushing away the king's usage of official nobles. This displays absolutism because he was able to control both religion and the noble class. England was where King James I resided. He believed in absolute authority to rule and didn't like being told what to do. But he did have to deal with the Parliament, and their main struggle was with money. Because the Parliament paid for his expensive court and foreign wars, they were sort of reconsidering taking their money back and not paying for it. But this never ended up happening, I don't believe. And although James had his limitations, he still sometimes refused things that the Parliament asked of him, like making Puritan reforms, which he refused to do. He instead made the Bible translation not accurate. And so this shows that James I wasn't exactly an absolute ruler, but he still did refuse requests sometimes, mostly when it probably had to deal with religion.
The Hohenzollern family, Frederick the Great, and his father, Frederick the Elector, had a massive army consisting of 80,000 men, and to pay for it, they introduced this permanent tax. Of course, the nobility was mad about this. So, in hopes to calm them down, Frederick the Elector gave them exclusive rankings within the army. And Frederick the Elector was afraid of Frederick the Great being a bad ruler, since he had interests in things like philosophy and music. And at one point, Frederick even tried to run away with his friend. So, Frederick the Elector went over and personally executed the friend in front of Frederick the Great as a punishment. This made them absolute because the Fredericks had an incredibly powerful military society. In Russia, the great Tsar, Peter the Great, has abolished the office of patriarch in the Russian Orthodox Church and set up the Holy Synod to have the church run by himself. So he has power over the church. like Ivan the Terrible, he also decreased the power of the nobles, this time more upset. And he gave lower class men grants of land so they'd be loyal to him and him alone. This proves he was an absolute leader because he directly controls the church and decreases the power of the nobility.